Let's get more on finance now. We're joined in Sydney by Tony Boyadjian, the Senior Vice President for Foreign Exchange at Compass Markets. Tony, good morning. Yes,
Morning,
we have that rate increase in the US. What impact will that have locally?
Yeah, it was fully factored in, Michael. The market was expecting it. So we had that 1/4 of 1 percentage point rate rise overnight, and it looks like we're going to get another 2 this year. Whether we get it in June and September is the debatable topic. The concern, of course, about the US economy is what's happening on the trade front with all these tariff deliberations. The Trump administration is still kind of keen to reduce their deficit with China, which may impose further tariffs on Chinese imported goods, and if that happens, it could falter on the global growth forecasts, and that could have a big impact on the Australian economy as well.
Let's talk the Aussie dollar. It's at a 3-month low. What's behind the fall?
Well, it's fallen by about 3% over the past week, Michael, and the reason behind that fall was the expected inflationary expectations with the US interest rate hike that we saw overnight. But we've also seen commodity currencies like the New Zealand dollar and the Canadian dollar all suffer as well. When China starts to slow, it tends to affect all the commodities, and that's the reason why we're seeing the Australian dollar weaken a little bit. It has retraced a little bit higher overnight after the Federal Reserve's interest rate hike. It was less hawkish than expected, what delivered in the US. So it looks like the market is now saying that the Australian dollar will remain in this 76 to 79 cent range for the short term.
Okay, but things are looking up on the jobs front though, Tony.
Absolutely, and today at 11:30, Michael, we'll find out exactly what the February jobs report has to say. We've had 16 consecutive months of jobs growth. We're expecting an unemployment rate around 5.5%, which will be unchanged from the previous reading. Looking for a forecast rise of about 20,000 jobs. But the real issue isn't that particular capacity. It's that Australia still has a lot of spare capacity in the jobs market, Michael, and we're expecting this issue of underemployment to become more in focus. Underemployment refers to those with a job but seeking more hours of work, and that's ballooned by 70% over the last decade as Australia's population has increased by 4 million. So certainly food for thought as we focus on the numbers today.
Tony Boyadjian, thank you very much for that finance
Pleasure.
update.
Thank you.